Scammers are targeting DoorDash drivers with a couple of tricks to steal their income. Fake orders leading to fake phone calls from support staff for the delivery service. Fox 9's Corin Hoggard is live in Maple Grove tonight. So Corin, this scam can take a couple of forms, but you found out that it hinges on one mistake by a trusting driver. So how does this happen?
Yeah, Kelsey, I talked to a couple of DoorDashers today who essentially fell prey to the same scheme, slight variety on it, but in both cases, basically, they place an order and then try to weasel themselves into the driver's account, which is exactly what happened to a grandmother who was coming here to this Pizza Hut on Saturday night to make a pickup. She got a call when she was here, or just about here, that said, that order was placed by somebody who has a history of fraudulent activity, and so they were canceling it. The call, on her phone, it said it came from DoorDash. And so she wasn't at all suspicious when they started asking for her personal information, her account information, to make sure that she was compensated for the time that she wasted. But the next day, she found out that really that caller was a scammer. They'd gotten into her account, drained it of more than $400 that she had planned to use to take her grandkids to Florida this week.
We do have a national dance competition. It starts on Tuesday, and we're leaving tonight after practice at 9 p.m., and that was our gas money.
Oh, that is really terrible timing, Corin. I mean, I feel for her. Is there anything that she can do to get this fixed?
Yeah, Kelsey, it almost gets worse from there, honestly. She did contact DoorDash, but the scammer had deactivated her account, and so the customer service folks at DoorDash really couldn't even identify her as a driver even after 3 years of doing it, thousands of deliveries. They just basically had no record that she had done it. And I actually talked to another guy who was in a similar situation. He got scammed. They got into his account, but instead of taking the money out of it, they actually gave him his money in his bank account, but then told him that they were scammers and they were holding his account hostage. Essentially, they asked for a ransom, and for him to get not deactivated, they needed a certain amount of money, which was about half as much as he made in a month, and so he paid them this ransom. She actually was never even given that option.
This sounds so incredibly stressful for a driver like Donna or anybody else. Have you heard anything from the company, and do you have any suggestions for how drivers can protect themselves from anything like this happening?
Yeah, not a lot from DoorDash. They told me they are sending this to their critical investigations team. And I also reached out to some police investigators I know. They said the best way to avoid being scammed like this is essentially to protect the secondary identification code. That's like the 4 or usually 6-digit number that a company will text you to verify your identity. The police say just never give that to anybody on the phone, especially if they called you. And Donna told me she definitely learned that lesson, but also she learned just be more skeptical in general.
Put it this way, I'm starting to second guess every conversation I have when they call me. So from now on, when DoorDash calls me, it's like, well, I'll call you back. Because it might not be DoorDash. Everything's based on an app, and you don't have access to the app if you're not a Dasher. So I'm lost. It's really hard.
Corin, Donna, I hope that for her sake she can get this fixed after she comes back from that dance competition. But in the meantime, hope she and her family can just get down to Florida and enjoy their time together, and that when she comes back she can tackle this situation. It's a lot of extra money for a lot of people, and they rely on it.
Yep, for sure.
All right. Thanks, Corin Hoggard of Maple Grove tonight.